Imagine being trapped in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, looking up at a wall of water as tall as a 10-story building. The engine is screaming, the hull is cracking, and there is nowhere left to run. This is the perfect storm, a once-in-a-century monster created when three deadly weather systems collide into one. But the real question is, if you knew the ocean was coming for your life, would you risk it all for one last chance at a better future? Gloucester, Massachusetts. A town where the sea gives life, but often takes it back. We meet Billy, a veteran fishing captain who's having a streak of terrible luck. His recent catches have been small, and the boat's owner is breathing down his neck. Billy isn't just looking for fish, he's looking for his pride. Joining him is Bobby, a young man deeply in love with his girlfriend, Christina. Bobby needs the money to start a new life and pay off his debts. Then there's Murph, a rugged father going through a messy divorce, and Sully, a guy Murph doesn't exactly get along with. Along with Bugsy and Alfred, these 6 men board the Andrea Gail, hoping for the big one that will solve all their problems. As the Andrea Gail sails out, the mood is hopeful but tense. They head to the Grand Banks, but the fish aren't biting. Billy, desperate and driven, decides to push further than usual all the way to the Flemish Cap. It's a dangerous move. Far from any help, but it's where the big swordfish are. Meanwhile, back on land, meteorologists are starting to sweat. They see a hurricane named Grace moving north, a cold front moving south, and a storm coming from the east. They realize these three are on a collision course. If they meet, it will create a storm so powerful it shouldn't even exist. At the Flemish Cap, Billy's gamble pays off. They hit the motherlode. The crew is ecstatic, pulling in thousands of pounds of high-grade swordfish. They're finally going to be rich. But the celebration is cut short. The ship's ice machine, the only thing keeping their catch from rotting, breaks down. Now, Billy faces a choice that will change everything. If they stay and wait for the storm to pass, the fish will rot and they'll return home broke. If they leave now, they have to sail right through the path of the gathering monster. Blinded by the need to provide for their families and save their reputations, the crew agrees to head back. They choose the storm. The ocean quickly turns from a friend to an enemy. The wind begins to howl, and the waves grow into mountains. A massive rogue wave slams into the Andrea Gail, nearly capsizing them and smashing their radio antenna. Now, they are blind and deaf in the middle of a literal hellscape. On the other side of the ocean, we see the true scale of the danger. A luxury yacht is sinking, and a heroic pararescue team is sent out in a helicopter to save them. The action here is intense, men jumping into churning white water, fighting against winds that are literally tearing the air apart. It shows us that even the best trained rescuers are helpless against what's coming. Back on the Andrea Gail, the situation is dire. The windows are blown out, and the deck is constantly underwater. In a heart-pounding scene, the boat's stabilizer breaks loose and starts acting like a wrecking ball, slamming against the side of the hull. Billy has to go outside, hanging over the side of the ship in 50-foot waves, to cut it loose. It's a miracle he isn't swept away. The human struggle is at its peak. Murph and Sully, who hated each other on land, are now holding on to each other's lives. They realize that in the face of nature's fury, their petty grudges mean nothing. They aren't just fishermen anymore. They are 6 souls fighting to see another sunrise. The ship is taking on too much water. Billy realizes they can't make it through. He tries to turn the boat around to head back into the eye of the storm for safety, but it's too late. Out of the darkness, a rogue wave appears. This isn't just a wave, it's a vertical wall of water, 100 feet high. Billy pushes the engines to the limit, trying to climb the wave. The ship goes vertical, pointing straight at the sky. For a second, it looks like they might make it. But the weight of the water is too much. The Andrea Gail loses its momentum and flips backward into the abyss. The ship is upside down, filling with water. Inside, the crew shares their final moments. There is no screaming. Only a haunting realization. Billy looks at Bobby and tells him he's sorry. Bobby manages to swim out of the sinking ship and reaches the surface, but he's alone in a vast, black ocean. As he floats there, he remembers the words of his girlfriend and the dreams they had. He isn't afraid, he's just sad for the life he's leaving behind. The screen fades as the ocean finally claims its prize. The movie ends with a memorial service in Gloucester. The town is devastated, but they understand the risk. The sea gives, and the sea takes. The lesson of the perfect storm is a heavy one. It's about the thin line between bravery and desperation. Billy wasn't a bad man, he was a man trying to survive in a world that demands too much. Sometimes, our drive to succeed can blind us to the warnings right in front of our faces. We learn that no matter how much technology we have or how much grit we possess, we are guests on this planet, and nature always has the final word. Ending question. Captain Billy Tyne took a massive risk to save his catch and his pride. Do you think he was a hero for fighting for his crew's future, or was he responsible for their fate by ignoring the warnings? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.